question 1 for your formative. So part A, you have to solve that inequality. I'm just going to go ahead and let's just move this over a little bit so I got some room to work with. Now on this problem, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could just solve it like an equation. I'm going to leave it as an inequality right now, but there's more than one way to approach this problem. So I'm going to start by, I want to get rid of those fractions. That always makes it a little bit harder. So if I'm dividing by 2, then the inverse operation that I'm going to perform is multiplying by 2. Okay, and when I do that, that's going to cancel those 2's out, and I'm going to be left with just x plus 2 on the left side. And then on the right side, I've got to do the same thing. Multiply all of that by 2. So I got to distribute that 2 to the minus 7 and the minus x over 2. So 2 times negative 7 is negative 14, minus, and then these 2's would cancel each other out, and you're just left with x. Now remember, on this one, I multiplied by 2, so I'm not going to switch the inequality sign. The only time I do that is when I multiply or divide by a negative. Now I need to get the x's on the same side, so I'm going to add x. It's going to give me 2x plus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 14. Now I need to start isolating that 2. Is minus 16, divide by 2. And again, I haven't divided by a negative, so the inequality sign's not going to switch directions. It's going to be x is greater than or equal to negative 8. Sometimes people see that negative sign and think that they automatically have to switch the sign, but what you're focused on is this number right here, what you're dividing by, which is a positive. So the answer to this solution, the solution set, is x is greater than or equal to negative 8. And then you have to graph the range of values which are solutions to that. So on this one, I'm going to go find negative 8. I'm going to put a closed dot because it's less than or greater than or equal to. And then since I'm looking for all the numbers that are bigger than negative 8, I'm going to have my arrow going to the right. Again, if you would just solve this like an equation and, went through and got x equals negative 8, then you would want to test a point to see which direction it goes. And let's say you had used like 0 as your test point. Then you would have found that 0 does make this inequality true, and then that would tell you to go to the right.